Hi, welcome back to another video. I know it's been a while. I am trying to get back on track. I will explain what happened this past month or two, but right now I just want to tell y'all that I am making these shorts, and I was trying to do these in just a two-piece set because right now I'm showing y'all that I'm cutting this pattern on a fold so that when I sew, I only have two pieces to really sew, but I realized I did not have a lot of fabric, and the only other way to make these shorts is if I cut two separate pieces on the other side. And so later I will cut this piece in half and show y'all. But now that I have a few moments to explain what happened in the last month, my computer had no storage. I could not upload anything or edit anything. It was just so awful. And I was like, I need to do a factory reset on my computer. Somehow I deleted things and it was screwing up my computer. So I had to do an entire reboot on my computer to reset it all because I don't know what I did, but I had to go back to remembering how to do coding from high school and I had to use my husband's computer, download stuff onto a USB drive and boot my computer through that USB drive. And that USB drive, I didn't think about, there's something in it that it takes or it deletes files, and it was deleting all the files out of my hard drive that I had. The hard drive that I put all of my edited videos on there and all of my videos that I have lined up on there. It deleted everything. It even deleted old videos of my kids, and I was so sad for a few days, but I had to take the loss and I had to move forward, and it's what I did. Luckily, I still had videos on my phone. This was one of them. I had several different videos of different angles because, as you can tell, this is kind of like a new little perspective. I have a camera on my head. I bought a head mount, and I had a few four-wheeler riding videos lined up, but obviously they got deleted. And I have different shorts. The first pair of shorts I showed y'all were the shorts that, to make this pattern, or the shorts why I wanted to make this pattern was that boxer looking short. And I had filmed those shorts. I also filmed three other pairs of shorts, but this green, or I guess you could call it greenish gray pair of florally shorts were the only thing I still had left in my filming or waiting to be filmed folder. So this is basically what I did for every single one of my shorts to make the boxer shorts for the summer. These shorts were so light and everything, or these shorts were so light, but they weren't technically see-through, so I didn't have to double line these. So I just kept them as is. But as you can tell, I'm having trouble fitting this pattern onto the material, but it had a little bit of a curve to it. So I added a curve to these shorts on the side to make like a scalloped look on the sides, I guess you could call it, or have some kind of slit on the sides to make them look somewhat cute. But the other shorts that I made, I cut this on the fold. As you can see on the pattern, it says on fold. I would cut or put that side on the fold and cut it like that. And they would turn out perfect every single time. I would play around with your pattern because I had to kind of taper down at the bottom of the shorts so that they weren't poking out so much, because if they poke out too much, your booty is going to show. Your bits and everything is going to show, but you don't want to make the crotch area too tight or you don't want to make it too thick, but you don't want it to be too loose. So it's like a perfect blend of trying to get enough material there to cover, but trying not to have too much for it to start poking out to where it uncovers. It's very confusing, and especially with the cloth that I was using. This cloth is very forgiving. I would say start with a really loose, flowy cloth, because as long as it's loose and flowy, it's going to drape your booty more. And as long as it drapes over your booty, I think that's perfect. But when you do like cotton, it tends to stick out a little bit more, like boxer shorts, and they tend to puff up a little bit more, or they can they don't really drape. They kind of poke out, or they shift side to side a little bit. They don't really hug on your curves, and you don't want them to hug or else they'll be too tight. You also want to make sure that you measure your waist measurements, but add like half. Like if you have a 20, or let's not say 20-inch waist. If you have a 40-inch waist like me, add another 20 to it. Because you can always put more elastic on, and you can always kind of taper the sides out if they're too big. But I ended up making, I think I added like 5 inches to my waist to each side on the bottom parts of it, but I kept the top of these shorts fairly wide. So if you see that, again, I tapered the sides of the shorts. Now, right now, I rounded out the bottom of these shorts so that they had somewhat of a slip slash scalloped look. But my pattern, you'll see that the bottom of the pattern is a little bit smaller than the top, or the top looks like it kind of flares out a little bit on one side. Not where the crotch is, because like where my left hand is, that little piece right there on the pattern, the white piece of paper where my left hand is, that's the crotch area. I'm talking about the opposite end across that pattern. It kind of looks like now that this piece is kind of spread out, you'll see that it kind of widens out at the top. So it's a weird looking piece right there, but that's because you want the band to kind of shrink up a lot with the elastic, and you want the small parts of your shorts still being loose, but you don't want them too big. So again, you just kind of have to find your measurements. I think if you're not sure about your body measurements, you need to practice pattern making more and more and more on your measurements so that you know exactly what measurements you need. And when you get so good at practicing what your measurements are and getting good at seeing your measurements and how big your body is, or, making clothes for your body, it becomes second nature. And you're like, I know I need this big of a piece. I know I can fit this much on there. I know I need this much to wear shorts. Like, I know I only need like 1 yard of fabric to make a full body set. I need 2 yards of fabric to make pants and like a tube top, and 3 yards of fabric if I'm making pants and a long sleeve shirt. So you just want to learn your measurements. You want to learn how big of pieces you need for your body type, and it just gets easier after that. And now that I've had my mommy makeover surgery, which is another reason why I've been kind of gone and not been able to update y'all on a lot of things, is the mommy makeover surgery. I have been healing from that. I've also been posting a lot, like shorts wise, and updating y'all like day by day on how I feel, the medications that I'm taking, or if I'm off the medications, how I'm feeling, how I'm recovering. And I know it's helped a lot of moms out there wanting to decide if they want to go through surgery to get the mommy makeover or not. And I honestly do not regret anything. I am so happy. I'm so glad I did it. But to all the mommies that don't care about surgery and stuff, you really don't need it. Especially if you don't care about, like, as long as you're wearing a bra. If you want to wear a bra, fine, wear a bra. Because if you want your boobs up, wear a bra. my boobs were sagging so much and they were so big and sagging that it was hurting my back. But it's a cosmetic thing, so you can't get it covered by insurance. So my husband's like, we'll get it done. I know you've been wanting it done. And plus, like, if I wore a crop top, my boobs were coming out the bottom of the crop top. And I was like, and if I wanted to wear a crop top, I would have to wear a really thick bra strap or really big, thick, supportive bra to wear underneath the crop top. And I was like, I really don't want to do that, because then my boobs were being held up by this big old bra that it was just hurting my back. But now that they're small and they're lifted, they're perky, my back, I told my husband, I was like, my back feels already better. Even though I'm scrunched over because of my tummy tuck, I was like, I feel much lighter. I feel different. My body is like, it's what I wish it felt like for the longest time. And I'm just so glad that I'm back to being comfortable in my own body and back to being less boob troubles and tummy troubles. I don't have to worry about fitting my belly into shorts. I can just wear shorts now. Or I don't have to worry about, if I'm wearing underwear, does my belly need to go over or under the underwear? Or is it slipping underneath the underwear? Because I had skin that was sagging underneath my underwear and it just wasn't fitting right. So I'm so glad I did it. I'm doing a lot better. I'm at like 72 hours of healing after my surgery and feeling so much better. And I'm glad that I'm actually back on track with my videos. I also have some outfits that I am crocheting and that I will be sharing soon. I will be sharing some projects that I did have filmed, I did had ready to go, but I lost it because of everything being deleted. So I will show you all the projects that I did but didn't get to show on YouTube. But it's going to be like what I made this past spring, and y'all will see. I made like a hat for my daughter. I might make another hat for my son, but it's going to be a different style hat, because for my daughter, I did like a bucket hat. I don't like bucket hats. And the pattern that I had just did not fit the head well. It didn't even seem like it came out like a bucket hat. And I need to know like some ratios, like brim to hat ratios, because I could not get it right. And it was just annoying me, and I really don't want to make it again. But I do want to make more of a sun hat for my son, where it's like a rounded top and not a flat top hat. And I think it would be great if I did like a pattern where you have to like round out some triangles for it to like fit rounded on the head, and do like some sun hats that way, because I think that would be easier. Measurements would be more on point. I've nailed down a sun hat brim. It's just the bucket hat brim. You have to have it like perfectly angled for it to look right. But yeah. Other than that, I did use a serger on more than half of this project. The serger just keeps all of the ends nice and clean and crisp. And I was thinking about adding some crochet lace on the bottom. And that's I have some shorts that I can show y'all too on the crochet lace that I did. So I will be doing a video showing that, because I do have some other shorts that I want to show, and I think it's a really cute detail that you can add to your shorts. If you have a pair of shorts that you just want to spruce up a little bit, it's so easy to do as long as you have a serger. Or you don't really need a serger, you just need some yarn thread, yarn thread, and a tapestry needle and a yarn hook. That's all you need to make like a perfectly lace bottom on your jean shorts, or these kind of shorts, or your boxer shorts. You can add it to anything. And then I've even started adding it to sleeves on some things. So I am starting to incorporate a lot of my sewing into more fashion. I do have some rhinestoning videos that I will be posting soon, especially of like how you can rhinestone a can and still keep the details of like a logo, like the Dr. Pepper logo on the can, and still rhinestone it, and doing some rhinestone hacks, because all I can do is pretty much sit down. So I did some rhinestoning videos. But I've been leaning towards the fashion and DIY fashion. And now, again, since I've had my mommy makeover, I'm having to redo my whole wardrobe. And instead of buying fast fashion stuff, it's actually cheaper to just make your own clothing than to try and buy it on Shein and stuff. And I know a lot of people, Shein can be like more of, it saves time for me. If I ever order off of Shein, it's more of like a time saving thing. And I know that I can order off there, get something, and if I need to alter it a little bit, I can. But if not, like, I can make it to where it does fit me. And I don't have to worry about making a pattern and remaking a pattern or making a mock pattern. So again, this goes back to the practice making patterns with your measurements and practice making your own clothes. That way in the future, you don't worry about, well, if I go to Shein, I'll get it faster. Or, you can even go to the thrift store and say, okay, well, I know this is my size and I know I can alter it real quick instead of buying off of Shein. And half the stuff you buy off Shein is in Goodwill. So also have that in mind. It's just more sustainable. When you learn to sew, your whole world of like fashion, DIY and stuff opens up so much. And if y'all want more sewing tutorial type videos, let me know. If y'all want me to show more of like me thrifting clothes and everything, I definitely will be doing that in the next couple of weeks. After I get my drains out, I still have my drains in, but after I get those drains out, I can do more. I just don't want to do too much because, again, I got drains in, and the whole point of not doing anything while they're in is so that you don't leak out so much. You don't want to produce too much fluids in your drain. That way you can get them out faster, because if it's still draining, you still got to wait for it to like slow down. So that's what I'm doing. I'm relaxing, sitting back, trying to get these drains out. Once I get these drains out, I can go back out to my shed. I can also lift more. Right now I can lift 10 pounds. Tomorrow I could possibly lift about 15 pounds. I've been having help with the baby, and he has been, at first he was a little worried that I wouldn't pick him up, and he was just kind of felt sad. And so did I, because I don't like not lifting my babies, especially when they want me. But after a while, he kind of got used to me not picking him up every time he cried like he normally did. And now, as long as I'm in the room, he's fine, and he's around me, and as long as I can touch him, hold him in some way, he is good. But, I still want to hold my baby, and I still want to cuddles. I just can't really do much. 1, drains, and 2, I can't lift them. So that's what's been going on in my life. I wish I still had those videos. I had so many other videos, like lifestyle type videos or vlogging type videos of me going 4-wheeler riding and having fun and doing summery stuff. I still have some that I can show y'all, but right now I'm just trying to get past projects out and then worry about the newer stuff later. But even though I'm pretty much caught up now, since I don't have like 20 videos in a folder waiting to be edited, I now have like only 1 or 2. I'm trying to catch back up making more videos, but also not trying to rush into the new fun videos, especially summer videos. They're so much fun to edit when it's like fun and summer and me having fun, but we'll have more fun later. Just the next few weeks, I'll probably have some more outfit type DIY videos. Again, a rhinestoning video. I have a bunch of dresses that I would like to make. Now that I have my boobs done, I can finally make dresses according to my new body. So again, I have new measurements now, so I have to relearn all my measurements and where everything's at. So just, if you're going through the same thing, follow me. Make sure you like and subscribe. Again, I had a mommy makeover, and this is also a channel where I do DIY stuff. So now I'm having to DIY my wardrobe to make me fit, or to fit, or to, now I have a new wardrobe that I have to fit to my new body. So if y'all are interested in stuff like that, I hope you follow me. But also, if you're just interested in my day-to-day life, I will be posting some summary vlogs, but also like they're going to be sewing type vlogs so that I can show y'all what I made and how I wore it or how I style it. So I hope y'all enjoyed this video. Again, I'm sorry that it's been a while. I promise I will be on, I want to say every Saturday, but just, I might not post next Saturday, but I might post the Saturday after next. So just bear with me. I'm still here. I still plan on posting a ton of other videos. It's been a crazy month or two this summer. It started off rough, but it's going to end very fun. I'm just glad that I didn't film my entire vacation and lost that. It was only sewing tutorials. So, lesson learned. Now that I know what not to do to my hard drive, I know it won't happen again. And I am saving up a bunch of videos to edit, and they will be posted in due time, I guess, is what you say to that. So, for those that have stayed and, were patient with me, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. We are almost at 1,300 followers, which I can't, it took so long to get it to 1,000. Now that we're to 1,300 followers, it's just amazing. No, I'm not monetized, so to get monetized, I need a lot more views, which, I've been having a lot more views lately. I'm almost to 300,000 views on this channel. That is more than 250,000 views. So I'm working on 500,000 views now. And to me, that's crazy. As someone that it took forever just to get 1,000 views, now we're to 300,000 views. It's crazy. And I keep having to remind myself, because there's some days where I'm I'm just never going to be that big YouTuber with 1 million followers. But now I feel like the more you post, the more I can connect with y'all, the more that we can bond, and the more time we have together, the better. So I'm trying to post more, and I'm trying to be more entertaining, or at least, do the tutorials, but also have the personality. Lately, I feel like I've been reading off a script a little bit too much because I've just been focusing on other things. And sometimes I forget not to just focus on a script and just focus on being me, talking to y'all one-on-one, off the cuff, not having a set list of what to say and what to give y'all, and just going by the heart, telling y'all what's on my mind or on my chest and stuff like that. So I'm trying to stay personal, but also be professional and be on track and not get too off track. So with that being said, I keep feeling like I say, with that being said, I hope y'all enjoyed this video. But honestly, I'm so happy to be back. More videos to come. If y'all want me to do more shorts, or if y'all want to see me do a different perspective on these shorts, because I did film these shorts where I had a chest mount. Right now, this is perspective of my head. You can't really see a lot, but when it was on my chest, I did a pair of shorts where I had the camera on my chest, and it was the perfect setup. So I do have that perspective. So I might do another pair of shorts and show y'all how I did that. So just bear with me. I'm trying to find out new angles to keep y'all entertained. That's the finished part of these shorts, and that's what they look like on. Again, they have the slit on the sides. They're scalloped, and because the fabric is so flowy and loose and thin, it kind of drapes over, and it doesn't poke out. But you'll see my other pairs of shorts that I made that they kind of poke out because they're cotton, and this is more, not satiny, but it's like that dressy material. But these are cotton shorts. I hope to see y'all in the next video, and I hope you enjoyed this one, and goodbye.